Bolton. See, that's me right there. And I am the Backseat Mogul. And this is the show we talk about show business. Sitting to my right, as always, none other than Johnny D. Johnny, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Scotty. And may I say, Happy New Year.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this show because I was in Las Vegas last weekend. Had a great time in Las Vegas. I visited a lot of my favorite tiki bars and tropical bars. Found a couple of new ones. Stray Pirate was one of them. That's one of the newer bars there, and it was a great bar. I mean, it's in the Arts District, so you can go down there for the art and the other bars that are down there in restaurants, and then have a great cocktail over at Stray Pirate. Kind of it's not quite. They don't like the term tiki bar. They prefer a tropical bar. So anyway, great place there, and also Red Dwarf, which is a tiki punk rock bar that we went to because they said they had great cocktails, which they did, and they said they had the best pizza in Las Vegas. Now, that's a pretty good challenge, though. We thought we better go try this best pizza in Las Vegas. Might have been the best pizza in Las Vegas. Have you ever heard of Detroit style?
Yes, I have.
Pizza? Do you know what it is?
No, I do not.
I'll tell you what it is. It's like Chicago style with a real deep crust. They take the crust and then they put the cheese and the meat topping or whatever toppings you might want on it. And then they pour the sauce across the top. So it's a little different in that case, and it was delicious. It was amazing.
Right. So instead of putting the sauce on the dough and then all the others fixins, that's last.
That's kind of how they used to do it at Godfather Pizza. Remember Godfather Pizza?
Oh yeah,
because I remember I ordered a pizza there once, and they brought it, and I said, "Hey, where's the pepperoni?" Well, it's underneath the sauce. Well, that's weird. But anyway, it was a great trip to Las Vegas. I'm glad we went, and it's always fun to go up there and explore and see what's new, and also to hunt your old favorites. We didn't get to Frankie's Tiki Bar because we were trying to pace ourselves. We didn't get to Double Down, and we didn't get to Oak and Ivy. So we missed those this trip. But we did get to the Laundry Room, which is a very fancy speakeasy hidden in the back of the Commonwealth downtown.
Oh, nice.
And the other ones that I just mentioned there. So it was a lot of stuff. Yeah, the Laundry Room's an experience. If you're a cocktail enthusiast, I highly recommend that you check out the Laundry Room. If you're not, probably not, because this is how the Laundry Room works. You have to get reservations 2 weeks in advance. You have to, there's a 2-drink minimum. All drinks are $19 each.
Wow.
You have to buy each person has to buy a $6 gourmet popcorn dish. And you have to include a 25% tip. It's automatic.
Whoa.
So for 4 drinks and popcorn and the experience, you're out the door for about $125
per.
No, $125 total.
Per person.
No, $125 total per couple. So it's not ridiculously expensive. It's expensive, but you pay for the experience, and I would gladly do it again. So and I also took my wife to the Mob Museum's Speakeasy, which was a lot of fun as well.
I still want to check that place out. I know it's not cheap to get into it.
To get into what? The Speakeasy?
Museum.
The Mob Museum's awesome. My mom and my brother and I went, and we took the tour. And the problem, it's not a problem. I keep saying it's a problem, but the thing I noticed about it is there's a lot of reading. I guess most museums are that way. There's all kinds of things in the wall and what have you. But the Mob Museum is no exception. The thing that's cool about the Mob Museum is you're looking at this history that it's right in front of you that everybody knows about. One of the things they had there, they had the original brick wall from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. They brought it brick from back east, rebuilt it in the Mob Museum, and the bullet holes are still there, of course. Oh
yeah.
So you can see the actual wall from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. How many album covers and other photos have you seen that have that wall or that image in the background?
Oh,
hundreds of them.
Yeah,
hundreds of them. And then the other thing that blew my mind is they had this little box in a glass case, of course. This little box with a little red velvet stuffing, for lack of a better word. And these malformed bullets. And they were bullets from Jack Ruby's gun.
Oh,
that's history.
Yeah.
That's freaking history. And they're there at the Mob Museum. So highly recommend that. And then the Speakeasy is downstairs in the basement. And it's a full-on bar, and there's exhibits down there, so you can sit at the bar, and there's a glass case next to you where you could look at exhibits while you're having a cocktail, and they serve prohibition style drinks.
Nice. Bathtub gin.
Well, they have their own moonshine that they sell and manufacture there because there's a distillery there as well. And I ordered a drink called the Marlowe. named, of course, after Philip Marlowe.
Mm-hmm.
And when they delivered the drink, they had me this book and a glass of ice. And she says, everything you need is in there. And she walks away. So you open up the book and it's hollowed out and there's a bottle inside that you open up and pour the drink in. So how they used to do it back in the Prohibition days.
Now, can you get into the speakeasy?
That's the next story I was going to tell you. So we walked up, it was 7:00. The museum was, I think it was closed or it was closing. I may be wrong about that completely, but there were some security guards standing out front. And I said, hey, how do we get to the speakeasy? He goes, around back downstairs. Okay. So you go around back. It's not well lit. It's weird. You walk and it's intentional. You know, you're supposed to be going to this illegal thing. So you go around towards the parking lot and then you make a turn and go down these stairs. And there's this big wooden door with iron bars across it and a button. So I guess I pushed the button. Man, push the button. Second later, the door goes boom. And this little slat goes whoosh, open. Password. And I go, please let us in. Can't help you. Slam. So I'm on the phone trying to find the password because if you go to the website, the Underground is the name of the speakeasy there, and they have a little image of that slot. You click on it and it gives you the password. So I'm trying to figure out the password. The door opens up. He goes, yeah, you don't need a password. Come on. And so he took us in there. And took us to the bar. And like I said, the experience there was great with the Marlowe that I had and looking at the exhibits that are going on. And the whole time they're doing it, they have newsreels playing up on the TVs in front of you. And then there's quizzes that you can do as it goes through. It's just a blast. So that was one of Shelley's favorite places.
So when you said newsreels, is it like the old movie tone?
No, they're brand new newsreels featuring like Tom Cruise. Of course, the old ones movie tone.
No. I mean, the way it's styled in black and white.
It is the original ones. Yes, it is. Yeah. So it's very, very, very cool.
I can remember going to the
Don't
theaters.
say it. Don't say it. It's going to make you sound so old.
I am old. There, I said it.
They don't know. They can't see.
Yeah, they can.
Oh, never mind.
But getting into the movies, go see whatever movie you want to watch. And you get, not only do you get the previews, coming attractions, you got a cartoon, and you got a newsreel.
See, I'm not as old as you, and all I remember is double features and triple features, but I never saw a newsreel. So
until you went to the speakeasy.
Until I went to the speakeasy. Yeah, I guess that's true. Excuse me. So today I wanted to talk about a few things that I've seen over the weekend or more in general, and then we'll go over some news and stuff as we usually do. I want to start with Anyone But You, which is a rom-com that's in movie theaters right now, doing rather well. It stars Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. And both of them rather attractive people. Got to give them credit for that. Sydney Sweeney, of course, is from Euphoria. And you probably remember Glenn Powell from Top Gun Maverick. By the way, well, we'll get to that too. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, I'll tell you now. Looks like Top Gun 3 is in the works. You know why? Because Top Gun Maverick made about $1.5 billion.
I put a lot of butts in the seats.
It did. So in Anyone But You, there's this young couple, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, and they have a terrific first date. They kind of fall into it. It goes well. They're happy. They're feel good. They like each other. And then it ends badly. Something happens that ends badly for both of them. On both sides, something bad happens. And now they hate each other's guts. And they hope never to see each other again. But some of their best friends are getting married. And they're taking everybody over to Australia for the wedding. So now these two people have to go to Australia for their friend's wedding, where they hate each other. Mm-hmm. And while they're there, they kind of ruin a couple things. So they decide, you know what, let's just pretend we like each other so that our friend's wedding is okay. Well, that's really hard to do, as you can imagine. So comedy ensues. Let's leave it that way. As I was watching the first part of it, because this was not my choice of movie, I would have chose something different, but Shelley decided she wanted to see this movie. For the first 20 minutes, I was thinking to myself, it's going to be really hard to get through this because it's your typical rom-com with your typical intros. And by the way, it stays that way. It's a typical rom-com from beginning to end, which is good if you like rom-coms.
So you're sitting there and you started channeling Sam.
No.
Kill me now. Kill me now.
No. Sam never ever said that, by the way.
Oh.
So, but you know, it's a good reference.
Yeah, okay.
He did say, yeah, you know, I take that back. He did say, if you see me out in the street, kill me. That's true. Anyway, so I'm watching it for the first 20 minutes and I'm like, ugh. And then it started getting funnier and wilder things started happening. The beautiful people in this movie, and there's a lot of them, get naked a lot. So that's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a pretty hard R rom-com. And by the time it was over, it's like, okay, you know, that was a good way to spend 90 minutes. We did this when we were in Vegas because it was too cold to do anything else. And 90 minutes at the slot machines would cost you $300-400. So we went to see the movie, and I'm glad we did. It was entertaining. And again, if you like rom-coms, or if you're a fan of Sydney Sweeney or Glenn Powell, also Michelle Hurd is in it. Let me see if I can find out. There's a couple other actors, and Brian Brown. And why do you think Brian Brown's in it?
Well,
I'll tell you, it's in Australia.
Oh,
pretty sure that Brian Brown is in every film that's made in Australia. So
you remember there's 2 or 3 movies I think maybe it was just 2 where he played a special effects guy in
those
the movie business.
Those were his big movies. Yes.
Yeah. I really liked those.
And he was with who was the actor that was with him just recently passed away. Great. Brian Dennehy was his co-star in those movies.
That's right.
Yep. By the way, I hate these ads that you're forcing on me, Internet Movie Database, but that's okay. Yeah, there's Brian Brown. Mm-hmm. And yeah, FX was the ones that he was known for. And those movies were so popular. I think there was only FX1 and FX2, even though there might have been a remake at some point. They were so popular that they named a network after him, FX.
Okay.
It could happen. All right. So next on my list of movies to review is a movie called Maggie Moore's. And I did watch Maggie Moore's because of the 2 cast members in it, Jon Hamm and Tina Fey. I would watch anything just because Jon Hamm was in it. I would watch anything just because Tina Fey was in it, but they're in it together. So I was definitely going to watch Maggie Moore's. The interesting thing about Maggie Moore's is it's directed by John Slattery, who, of course, was one of the co-stars with Jon Hamm in Mad Men, which, by the way, was chosen as the best television series of all time by Variety.com.
Wow. It beat out
Sopranos, which was number 2.
I was going to say Seinfeld.
Seinfeld was on the list, but down farther. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was yeah. And have you seen Mad Men?
A long time ago.
It really deserves those accolades. It's such a great show.
I would have to go back into it because I never watched the complete series. I think it's because I didn't have that network, but I do remember seeing a few of the episodes.
I think it was on AMC at the time when it originally came out.
Could have been.
But anyway, so Jon Hamm, as I said, I would watch everything that he's in. John Slattery directed this. He was one of the co-stars of Mad Men. The thing about Maggie Moore's, which is about a pair of murders that the sheriff, Jon Hamm, is investigating, and both women are named Maggie Moore. And he wants to know, why are these 2 women, who both are named Maggie Moore, dead? So he starts to investigate. Did you have something to say, or you just opening?
It just dawned on me from what you just said. This is not a comedy.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Because the thing about the Maggie Moore movie, Maggie Moore, so the S is in parentheses, is that it wants to be a Coen Brothers movie. It wants to be Fargo. It wants to be Blood Simple. It wants to be one of those quirky, funny, freaky films. It doesn't quite get there. It's like a pale copy of a Coen Brothers movie. Doesn't matter because you've got Jon Hamm. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter because you've got Tina Fey, and you got some other people in it as well that you would recognize. Nick Mohammed from Ted Lasso is very good in this movie as well. He plays the sheriff's deputy. It gets better as it goes along, as it starts to lean away from trying to be quirky like a Coen Brothers film and turns into more of a straight out murder mystery. It gets better. And by the time it's over, you're like, okay, that was worth watching. I'm glad I checked it out. But you can tell from the beginning that it really wants to be a Coen Brothers movie, but it just doesn't quite have the meat. And not many movies do. I mean, that's why the Coen Brothers are the Coen Brothers. Yeah. You know, they're the ones who make those quirky, weird movies that make you laugh and at the same time take your breath away. This one doesn't quite do that. But again, you've got Jon Hamm, who plays the sheriff whose wife has just recently passed away, and Tina Fey, who might be a woman that he might be interested in, but she's got her own problems as well. Anyway, I would recommend Maggie Moore's, if you're interested. And it is currently on Hulu, and you can also see it on Prime Video if you want to pay $4. And, $4 for a movie at home is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I paid for some movies recently a couple of times now. So the last thing I want to talk about is the best thing that I want to talk about. It's one of the best sections of television that I've seen in a long time. And again, stars John Hamm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Fargo season 5.
Oh, wow. You went to where I was thinking you were going to say something else.
What did you think I was going to say?
There's another Omens 2.
John Hamm is in everything right now.
Yeah.
John Hamm is in everything.
And he's excellent in Omens.
Again, watch anything John Hamm is in. I think that John Hamm might have a little bit of Brad Pitt syndrome, because Brad Pitt is so good looking that people don't realize what a great actor he is. And John Hamm is the same thing. He's so strikingly handsome that you don't realize how good an actor he is. But I'll tell you what, if you watch Maggie Moore's and you watch season 5 of Fargo, you realize what a good actor he is, because the characters, even though they're both sheriffs, are so vastly different. So Fargo season 5, just check out this cast. Okay. This cast is incredible. You've got Juno Temple from Ted Lasso, John Hamm, as I mentioned, Jennifer Jason Leigh, who's the worst person in The Hateful Eight, but was terrific in it because she was so evil. She might be more evil in this. She's great. You also have David Rysdale as her husband. Joe Keery from Stranger Things is in this, and he gets to play a real nasty, meaty role. He's terrific in it. Let's see who else. Dave Foley is in there, starring as the lawyer Danish Groves. He's also, look at that eye patch. Dave Foley is one of those actors that's probably best known for comedies and what have you, but he's done a whole lot of dramatic roles that tend to go under the rug. This one won't. I think he's going to get some attention.
What was that TV show he did? It was about a radio station.
That was
a comedy.
Yeah, it was the radio station. You know what? You know when a lawyer goes to court and he never asks a question that he doesn't know the answer for?
Well, I
just want you to consider that.
I just
want you to consider that.
Am I a lawyer?
No, but
okay, there
the rule applies. Rika Morjani stars as a police deputy Indira Olmstead. She's also very, very good in it, tough and smart. Sam Spruill. I think Sam got this role because Christoph Waltz wasn't available, because it's that kind of weird, freaky role. But what Spruill has on Waltz is that he's big, so he's even scarier. But he's as nutty as a fruitcake. He's an assassin who's just out of his mind. And finally, we have Lamorne Morris as Deputy Whit Farr. He plays a very important part in saving Juno Temple's character, if she's saved. I haven't seen the last episode yet, so maybe she won't be. But it's interesting because Juno Temple, British, Ted Lasso, she does the Minnesota accent perfectly. She just nails it.
What network is this on again?
It is currently on, it aired originally on FX. FX has some of the best programming on television, but they pump so many commercials and advertising into it. It makes things virtually unwatchable. I will never forgive them for what they did for the first season of Fargo. The last episode, they would give you 3 minutes of broadcast and then 5 minutes of commercials. It's not acceptable. So I paid to watch it on Hulu, where the commercials are all removed for now, even though it seems like all the streaming networks are starting to add advertisement.
Now, the last Fargo season I saw had Billy Bob Thornton in it. And
that was the first one.
That was the first one?
Yes.
And I didn't get to finish it for whatever reason.
Oh, my. This season might be the best season, but that would definitely have been the best season before this one. Billy Bob Thornton was amazing. He was so evil. He was just crushingly evil. So in this movie, in this new season, Juno Temple plays a woman who's got a life. She's got a husband. She's got kids. She's living happily. But something happens that's not really her fault. She accidentally maces a cop, and she is arrested. And they take her fingerprints. She doesn't want them to take their fingerprints. She doesn't have any choice. Well, come to find out that people are looking for her. People that aren't very good people. And that means John Hamm's character, the sheriff. They were married. He abused her violently. She escaped. and he's been looking for her ever since.
Oh.
Because he says it's because the Bible says that a wife is always with the husband, but we all know it's because he's a vengeful man, and he's going after her. So that's what the whole story is about. Jennifer Jason Leigh is her mother-in-law, who doesn't really like her, but warms to her when she starts kicking some butt. And it's Noah Hawley, who is a writer and a producer.
Mm-hmm.
A terrific one he was supposed to do a Star Trek movie. And of course, Paramount, in their wisdom and their apparent hatred of Star Trek, didn't let it happen. God, I would have paid to see Noah Hawley do a Star Trek movie. Anyway, he captures the essence of the Coen brothers in his Fargos because it's dark, it's funny, it's quirky, it's evil. It's everything you could want. It's got some of the best performances on television. And if you think that's just me talking, the rating on Internet Movie Database right now is 8.9 out of 10.
Wow.
Which is one of the highest I've ever seen for anything on Internet Movie Database, which is just local folk voting, by the way. Everybody who's got an account on Internet Movie Database can vote for that. So it doesn't mean anything, but it's just interesting that 8.9 for something like this.
What surprises me, you take an actor of the caliber of John Hamm, who you would think would be the roles that he takes are going to be, well, he's a really cool, good guy. No, apparently not in this one.
Oh, he's not. He is an evil, evil man, and he plays that character so darkly. Shaw and I were talking about how interesting it is that he's playing a sheriff in Maggie Moore's, who's a good guy. He's a nice guy, who's suffering because his wife is dead. And in Fargo, he's also a sheriff, but he's an evil SOB. And if you look at the two characters, it's John Hamm playing, but because he's so damn good looking. But the characters are so different, and yet the same kind of role. Dude does not get enough props. He does not get enough props. So I highly recommend Fargo season 5. I take that back. I recommend Fargo seasons 1 through 5 because every one of them has been astounding. When I heard they were going to do a season about gangsters in the gangster era, starring Chris Rock, I thought, really? How does that fit Fargo? Again, one of the best seasons of television you'll ever see. It was amazing. So good. So,
I got to see this one.
It's so good. Here's what I'm going to say to the networks. If Noah Hawley comes to you and asks for money, give him the money. That's all. Just give it to him because he knows television and movies, and he writes books as well. I've read a couple of those books, and they're just outstanding. Incredible talent. So Noah, more power to you. Studios, give him all the money he wants. That's all I'm going to say. So Johnny, those are the 3 things I saw. Have you seen anything recently?
I saw this a while back, and I'm sure I talked about it, but they just recently started advertising it on Prime Video, and that's with Liam Neeson. It's The Marksman.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh God, it's so good.
You watched it?
Yes, I watched it. I saw it a while back. It's really good.
Yeah, it's 2 years old. It was from 2021. Oh, sorry. 3 years old. Great cast. Liam Neeson. You got Catherine Winnick in it as well. And where did you watch this at?
I saw it on television. Now it's on I believe it's on Prime Video.
We'll find out right now.
But I saw it when you remember when I was recuperating from my knee operation?
I do.
I was up in I was at the place here in Santa Paula. Is where I saw it. It was on their TV. It was really good.
The Marksman. Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes has to say about The Marksman. I'm just curious. I have not heard of that. And it sounds like my kind of movie.
I think you'll like it. I really do.
There was also a 2005 The Marksman starring Wesley Snipes. Our internet's going very slow. I hope it's not affecting our stream. If it is, I apologize, folks. Anyway, we'll let that pull up when it gets a chance. I forgot to start the show this way, and I very much meant to, Johnny. Happy Beekeeper Weekend.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes is down, so we might not be able to do that.
No.
Anyway, the Beekeeper is out this weekend. It's Jason Statham starring as, strangely enough, a beekeeper, an actual beekeeper. He keeps the bees. And he has a friend who's a senior citizen who gets scammed out of her entire fortune. They take every penny she has. And because she's so destitute now, she decides to kill herself, and she does. Well, Jason doesn't take kindly to that, as you might imagine, and he's going to go out and find the people who took his friend's money, and he's basically going to obliterate the F out of them. Now, Johnny and I played the trailer a couple weeks ago. I just can't wait to see this movie. And the reviews, which I would look up on Rotten Tomatoes if it was functioning, they were sitting at about 60%, I think, last time. So it's teetering right there on the freshness label. Most of the good reviews said that it's a throwback to the days of the Commando, Arnold Schwarzenegger type movies, and the Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren ages, which is good news for me. The bad reviews said that it's a throwback to the days of the Dolph Lundgren movies, and so they're arguing the same point. If you like those old movies that are just silly action adventure movies that make you laugh, and I understand that the B jokes don't stop in this one, then you're gonna love it. Which is Commando is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, obviously, but from the trailers I've seen, it's like, oh, this is Vengeance Unlimited.
It is. Yeah. Shelly and I have our tickets. We're going tomorrow, I think at 1:30, something like that. So we're going. She's not exactly very happy about it, but I
just might see that tomorrow myself.
She'll go. It's the same thing. It's for she's just like with The Beekeeper, as she is with Curb Your Enthusiasm. She knows that I love Curb Your Enthusiasm, and she will watch it with me. But sometimes she has to leave the room because Larry is so annoying. Have you seen the trailer for the new series of Curb Your Enthusiasm? No. I'll tell you one part, and I'll tell you, the audience, one part. Larry's at a funeral, and he's sitting talking to one of the people there, and he says, "I'm sorry to hear about your father." And the guy says, "Well, it was father-in-law, but thanks." And Larry's all, "Oh, father-in-law? Well, that's better, right?" That's the kind of thing that Larry does. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I don't know if I spelled that right, but it's on there. You know what it is.
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah, pretty much.
So Beekeeper looks like it's going to do about $16 million this weekend. Not bad for an action adventure movie that level. The number one movie is going to be the Mean Girls musical, which Tina Fey wrote. So again, Tina Fey, I'll go see it. We'll see how it holds out. Beekeeper is one of those things that's probably going to get some serious box office buzz. See what I did? Sorry. And I think that if people like Beekeeper, they'll go back and see Beekeeper. So it might have a nice run. We'll see what happens.
So would you say from the trailers and all that, it's a honey of a deal?
I wouldn't make a joke like that.
Okay. Yeah, in the trailers I've seen, there's this one actress. The way she delivers her line, she goes, "You mean a beekeeper? Oh, that's not good."
Yeah, because she knows
what's her delivery.
She knows what a real beekeeper is. So, So anyway, Beekeeper is out this weekend, and I haven't seen it yet. Going tomorrow, but just go see it. It's going to be fun. If you like those movies, I love movies about revenge, especially the big stupid. And I know it's going to be big and stupid. There's a scene with the SWAT teams out front discussing how Jason Statham's going to get in the building to kill everyone. And he walks up and he goes, "Well, why don't I just tell you?" Come on. How can you not love that?
Oh, I got to tell you, Shelly, if you're listening, you have an out. Oh, if she doesn't want to go, I'll be more than happy to go.
There you go. See? So,
let me tell you about another movie I watched.
Tell us.
It's called Outlander. It's a 2008 movie. It stars Jim Caviezel and John Hurt and a bunch of other people. And it's really, really good. Real quick synopsis. It's about an alien, obviously from another planet, who crash lands on Earth during the Iron Age, as in Days of the Vikings. And unfortunately, he brought something with him.
A monster?
Yeah. And it's actually really, it's a good movie. A lot of blood and gore, but it's good. It's from 2000. It was released in 2008, and it's called Outlander. Not to be confused with the TV series Outlander.
All right. So I got Rotten Tomatoes to work. The Marksman we were talking about earlier, the Liam Neeson movie, is 38% good reviews. So they're not agreeing with you on that. What was it? The Outlander?
The Outlander.
There it is. Jim Caviezel. That can't be it, can it? No. Hold on, folks. 37%. So what we're learning so far is you like movies that hover about 37, 38%.
Well, you know, when I go to a movie, I don't.
Johnny, stop. Look at the audience score as well. 45%.
Oh, that's better.
So, yeah. And then we were talking about Beekeeper. Let's see what Beekeeper's sitting at right now. Beekeeper is 67%.
Ooh.
So it's risen a little bit. Look at the audience rating, 92%.
Oh,
that's a movie that could get some buzz going for it. I do not mean that as that, but
I like that one thing. I saw when I looked up there, I saw it said the Buzz Watch or something like that.
That was something else.
Yeah, but Buzz.
Times in, yep. So here's some of the reviews for Beekeeper. The shame is that there are flickers of greatness here. Statham in action is thunderously convincing. In character, he's pleasingly ironic. Okay, that's a bad review. That sounds like a good review to me. The Beekeeper, which is both a B movie with 2 E's and a B movie, falls in the same category as many other Statham versus everyone action thrillers. Not very good, yet enjoyable enough. I'll take that too. Let's see what else we can tell you about. Time and again, he's surrounded by hordes of SWAT guys, Secret Service agents, cops, mercenaries, you name it. And time and again, they're all laid low. It's nuts. It's funny. Yes, that's the point. That is the whole point. And here's, like I said, most of the reviews are along this line. A satisfying 90s action throwback led by star Jason Statham doing his thing, mowing down bad guys in the name of revenge. Just take my money. So, yeah, looking forward to it. 67% is not bad for a movie like that. As a matter of fact, just in comparison, let's see what the reviews from Meg 2 were, which I also love, by the way, because, 27%.
What was Meg? What was Meg? Meg 1, Meg, whatever it was called.
The Meg, I think it was. Yeah, there it is. It was 47%.
Oh.
So anyway, just fun to look at. What else have we got going on in the news here? Let me see. Oh, I think this is perfect. For years, they've talked about a Linda Ronstadt biopic. Now, Linda Ronstadt is one of the greatest artists in the history
such a voice
of the world. Incredible. And her story is amazing. And everything about her is just brilliant. And then she got an illness that she could never, ever sing again. Crushing. You know, it's happened to Huey Lewis is in that situation right now. Brian Johnson from AC/DC had that problem, but was able to circumvent it with surgery. So it's terrible what happened to Linda Ronstadt, but that's her story. Well, they finally cast their Linda Ronstadt, and it's Selena Gomez. She's perfect. She is a perfect choice. She's a singer already. She's got a great voice. She's proved her acting chops on Only Murders in the Building. I think it's brilliant. So now I'm very excited about the Linda Ronstadt.
Is the movie about Linda Ronstadt? Is it based on a book?
I don't know. It's based on her life story. Does it have to be a book?
Well, it would be nice. And, you know, speaking of books, if you have Amazon.com and you have Amazon Prime, go there. Search out R. Scott Bolton author, and you're going to find a list, a tremendously long, enjoyable list of at least 80,000. Okay, 8 books. 7 books. How many books?
8 right now.
8. And
9 in March.
You will thoroughly enjoy each and every one. Scott Bolton's books run the gambit from being fantasy to science fiction to everyday life.
Detective novels.
And the most recent is called Death and the Mogul.
You got it right.
Yes, thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. My favorite is always Dead Dick. I know that sounds really weird, but Dick,
it's about a dead detective.
Yeah.
He's a dead dick.
Back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, when they referred to a dick as a private investigator.
They still do. I don't know why you always have to go back. It's still. But anyway, don't you watch any cop television?
And then there's the first books that came out were the H.B. Fist series. Oh, you will love these books.
Thanks, Johnny.
And if you've got
No,
Amazon
he's
Prime,
not
you're going to
done.
get free
He's
delivery.
not done.
And I tell you what, you get any one of Scotty's books, especially the ones that are available on hardback, or even if they're on paperback. You contact this station, and I guarantee you, I can get Scotty to sign it. As a matter of fact, I don't have to guarantee it. He will sign it.
Not only will I sign my books, I'll sign anybody else's books. Just bring them in.
Yeah.
I'll sign them. It doesn't matter.
Anyway,
roughedgestudios@gmail.com.
there you go, Scotty. I got it in.
You did. That was a nice segue. I was going, where's he going? Why is it based on a book? By the way, the film is being produced by Linda Ronstadt's manager, John Boylan, and James Keach,
Wow.
Stacy's brother, who produced the 29 documentary Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice, which was amazing. It was
How
an
did I miss
excellent
that?
biopic because you don't pay attention to anything. You
Apparently
wander
so.
through life bouncing off the walls like a pinball, and then you wonder why you miss stuff.
There is another biopic that's going to be, I don't know if it's been cast yet or not, but I heard about this on the radio this past week, and it's about Amy Winehouse.
Yes, I think that's already in the works, is it not?
I just heard about it on the radio. I caught the tail end of a report because I turned the radio on.
There's a sad tale. What a voice that woman had, and just went away.
She threw it away.
Well, she did, but it's a disease, man. It's
Yeah.
not, I'm that's not making excuses for anybody, but it's just sad because, she passes away like that. So anyway, let's see what else we got here. Apple Original Films has picked up Fountain of Youth from director Guy Ritchie. Okay, I'm in. Guy Ritchie's a great director, starring John Krasinski and Natalie Portman. Isn't that interesting? They play two estranged siblings who partner on a global heist to find mythological fountain of youth. That's a very interesting story for Guy Ritchie, isn't it? I mean, I know he did the Sherlock Holmes movies, and I know he did the King Arthur movie, but hunting for the fountain of youth, that seems like something a little bit different there. So I don't know. I mean, I'm very excited about it just because it's Guy Ritchie and John Krasinski. And I'm also kind of surprised that Krasinski's doing a acting role when he's been behind the camera so much recently, with the exception of Jack Ryan, of course. Let's see what else we got in the news. David Gordon Green has exited the Exorcist trilogy that was being done for Blumhouse, I believe. The first movie did The Exorcist Believer did not do well. Got horrible reviews, did kind of poorly at the box office. And I think that's why Green is stepping away from the series. It's funny because he's going away from a series about the devil to a series about Christmas, the film about Christmas called Nutcrackers, which will be Ben Stiller's return to the big screen after a lot of years before. He's been behind the camera as well, doing some terrific work, by the way, as well.
Yeah, he has done a lot of fantastic stuff. One in particular, I wasn't really that thrilled about because it was a comedic version of I'll call it a dramatic cops and robbers TV series. But the two movies
you're really still holding Starsky and Hutch against him.
Oh well. But the two movies I really liked about him were his Night at the Museum movies.
Oh, they were great.
Those were great.
They were great. Yeah. His mini series, Escape from some prison I can't pronounce, I always forget it, was absolutely brilliant. Damanera, I think, Escape from Damanera. It was about a prisoner who was escaping from prison, obviously, and the way he did it. And it's based on a true story, and it was absolutely brilliant filmmaking all the way through. Speaking of brilliant filmmakers, Wes Anderson has announced the stars of his next movie. The movie is called, that's not listed, so we'll skip that part. But he got Bill Murray, Michael Cera, and Benicio del Toro to join him. I think they've all been in Wes Anderson movies before. Wes Anderson movies are very exciting films. Not always 100% there with them. The last one, Asteroid City, still not too sure about. But the things I saw before that were absolutely brilliant.
Could it be it's called Next Feature?
I don't think so.
I mean,
that would be funny.
When I read it.
The headline says Wes Anderson sets Bill Murray, Michael Cera, and Benicio del Toro for Next Feature. That would be funny if it was called Next Feature. I don't think it is. He's writing it with Roman Coppola, who they've written together ever since The Life Aquatic. So very interesting for that as well. Let me see what else we got going here. Oh, this was sad news. I did not expect this. Aiden Canto, star of the Cleaning Lady, X-Men, and Designated Survivor, has died at age of 42.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, it was. I think they said it was pancreatic cancer. Oh, I'm sorry, appendiceal cancer. And I mean, you know this guy's face, right? Look at him. You know this guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff, and he was always good. Very sad news. 42, man. That just sucks. It really just hit you in the gut there. That's not good at all.
You know, when I mentioned Starsky and Hutch, the actor who played Hutch, David Soul, passed away.
That's right. And I never met David Soul, but I had meetings and lunch with one of his best friends a number of times. And the guy couldn't wait to get to Germany. I think it was Germany, where David Soul lived, to party with him, because he said David Soul was just such a great human being. He loved them dearly. He said it was so cool to go out to bars and restaurants with David, and people would, hey, I know you, and he was always real super friendly with them and everything else. So that was sad news, and especially based on the stories that I heard from this guy.
My sister was a huge David Soul fan. And
I remember us talking about that.
This was before Starsky and Hutch. This goes all the way back to, I think, Here Come the Brides. Which I don't know if that was the first TV series he was in. I think he did he was in an episode of the original Star Trek.
Yes, he was.
Yes,
he was.
But he was also a singer, and he passed away while living in London, in England. And
maybe it was England, not Germany.
Yeah.
Might have been.
But he did. I believe he played. What was the character's name? The musical Oklahoma, in the London production of it. Well, like I said, my sister was such a big fan of his. I got that for her.
Oh, nice.
I found it online and I got it for, she passed in 2015. So obviously it was quite a few years before that.
Yeah.
But
nice. Very nice. Yeah, David Soul was an interesting character, and he never really had much success after Starsky and Hutch, except for he was much more popular in Europe, much like David Hasselhoff is, and but anyway, because of my colleague, who was his best friend, I learned a lot about him that I didn't know. So I gotta ask you a question though, John.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that the film version of Starsky and Hutch, which was with Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller, was less serious than the television series starring those two guys?
I find it, because I religiously watched that TV series. I really enjoyed it.
As did I.
But I just found that the movie, for my taste, was too comedic. That's just like the TV.
But was it really any sillier than the Starsky and Hutch TV series? Because it was pretty silly. Remember the episode they went against devil worshippers? Come on.
Also, the
next thing you're going to be telling me Beretta is better than NYPD Blue.
NYPD Blue did not have a talking bird.
Oh, that's okay. So that's a bad example, because the talking bird does give it.
No, the TV series I Spy from the 60s.
They
made a movie about that. And again, that was very serious.
The difference between
and
that
made
was
a comedic one.
I Spy sucked the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I Spy sucked the movie. That's not what I meant. I Spy the movie sucked. That's the difference. Starsky and Hutch was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I remember one scene. I'm watching the movie with my wife, and there's Owen Wilson. Was it Owen Wilson or Luke? It was Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson, Snoop Dogg, and Ben Stiller. And I leaned over to my wife and I said, it's weird to look at that scene and realize that the guy in the middle is the richest one on there. Still kind of weird.
There was another TV series, very short-lived, which is really a shame because it was really good.
By the way, Snoop Dogg nailed it as Huggy Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
He did.
Okay. Anyway, what other series are you going to bring up that has nothing to do with what we're talking about?
David Soul.
Oh,
it was called Unsub. It was really good. One season.
One season. Yeah, I was going to say.
Which was really a shame. That's something else they were talking about on the radio when they were mentioning about David Soul. And one guy found episodes of it. Now, I think he may have found them on YouTube. I'm not sure. But I would love to get that collection. because I remember the series. I thought it was good. I liked it.
I don't remember it at all. Not even an inkling of it. Let's see if it's on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff that's on YouTube that you can't find anywhere else because, you can't find anywhere else. Unsub. Let's see if it shows up here. It doesn't look like it.
Oh, I know what you could look for.
We're not going to start looking for stuff for you, John.
No, this one you just might. Vengeance Unlimited on YouTube.
There it is. Unsub the complete series.
Oh,
you can watch the whole series there on YouTube.
Oh, sweet.
Wow. You say it's good?
I liked it.
Oh, sorry, I probably won't watch it then. There it is.
Well, it's like Vengeance Unlimited was good.
Vengeance Unlimited wasn't good. It was godlike.
Oh, guys, it was.
Yeah, look at there it is right there. A lot of things are allowed that because they're not available anywhere else. But if it was available anywhere else, they'd probably kill this. But anyway, unsub, you can watch it there. The first episode is called White Bone Demon.
And it's about a team of, I guess you'd call them forensic. I don't know if they call them forensic scientists or not.
Forensic ghost hunters.
Well, no. But they go in and they can figure out how and why someone died. They're investigators, but I believe it's on a federal level.
I might check that out. I like to find series like that to watch that have been around. I never even heard of that one, so I'll check that out. In other news, we have The Good Doctor, which is ending with season 7 on ABC. Dr. Sean Murphy will see his last patients in 2024, it says here. Have you ever watched The Good Doctor?
Yes, I have. Not religiously, but every episode I've seen, I thoroughly enjoyed.
I got burned down on it rather quickly because it suffers from an ailment I have yet to name, but a lot of series suffer from this ailment. That one more so than other. The problem is you have somebody who comes in who is obviously so good, who's obviously so talented, so knowledgeable, so whatever, that they can walk into a scene or they can do something and come up with a solution faster than anybody else. And everybody around them says, nah, that's not it. There's got to be something different. And they do it week after week. And you know that after a while, after this guy's solved 20 different illnesses and fixed the surgeries, people just go, okay, let's do it. But instead, no, that can't be it. Monk was the same way. Monk is the greatest detective in the world. Mm-hmm. But every episode, no, that can't be it. Come on. I know you got to create conflict, but just go with the guy. You know he's that good. You know he has the answer, but no, it's that. And that show is worse than any of them. That show was worse than any of them. This kid who's got his autism, right? He's autistic. He's brilliant. He sees things instantly that nobody else can see. But no, that can't be it. House has suffered from the same thing.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was going to say House.
You got writers. I love you. You know, I'm on your side 100%. But you got to figure out something that changes that kind of conflict, because you can't go week after week having the greatest person in whatever business they're doing and then having people tell them, no, you're wrong. They're not wrong. Just go with it. Anyway, Good Doctor ending with season 7. That had a good run. Good for them.
What else are you watching?
What?
What else are you watching?
All kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see where we're looking here to see if there's any other news here. Oh, Mean Girls looks like it's going to hit 31 million, so better than they expected. Beekeeper 19 million, better than they expected. So a couple of minor hits there going out through there. What else am I watching? I watched. What have I been watching? I watched a little bit of everything. I've been watching Reacher, of course.
Oh yes.
Okay, I will say this about Reacher. It ticks me off. It makes me mad. And this is why. They take you through an episode and they leave you hanging at the worst possible time. All you want is that next episode, but you got to wait till next week.
Now, what I've been doing,
it's tough.
With Reacher, I've been watching week by week. I'll watch an episode this week. Next week, I'll watch the next episode, and so on. Right now, this coming week, I will watch episode 5. I am savoring it. I don't want to binge watch it.
Savoring does not work for me. I want my stuff now. I'd rather binge watch it so I don't lose track of any of the story bits, and I just want it now. But I can't wait for Reacher. I got to watch Reacher every single week. So yeah, it's so good. It is so good. And if you haven't read the books, go dig them up. The Lee Child novels. John hasn't read one. I've talked to him over and over about this. He reads my books. Stupid. Read the Lee Child books.
And speaking of books,
don't do it again.
Go back to Amazon.com with Amazon Prime. You get free delivery. Search out R. Scott Bolton books. You will not be sorry. And guess what? We have Valentine's Day coming up. So it's going to make great Valentine's Day gifts. Kind of weird, but it would make great gifts.
Okay.
I got it in twice.
It's probably twice too many, but that's okay. All right, we're going to close with this, which has nothing to do with show business. Well, kind of does, except John's got something apparently.
Yes, one more thing. There is another biopic in the works.
Good God, how many of these do we have to put up with?
This one is about Michael Jackson.
Tell me about it.
Apparently,
I took it off the screen, so you're on your own.
No. Again, I heard this on the radio. It's a biopic on Michael Jackson, and it's supposed to be starring the actor who's going to be playing Michael Jackson I believe it's his one of his nephews.
Oh,
and I can't remember which nephew it is, but I find that quite interesting. It's supposed to be. I don't know if they're going to start when he was in the Jackson 5 or if it's going to start him as an adult. But it's going to be interesting to see. Supposedly, it's supposed to be all facets of what Michael Jackson went through.
It's not. It's going to be a
watered down.
It's going to be big time watered down, and it's going to be a fluff piece. They won't. They unlike the Freddie Mercury movie when they went out warts and all. They will not go warts and all with Michael Jackson. They will make it. They will sanitize it, and I don't care. It'll
be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
Will I watch it? Possibly. I am looking forward to the Amy Winehouse one, and most definitely the Linda Ronstadt.
I think the Amy Winehouse will be warts and all, and the Linda Ronstadt, I don't think there are any warts. So she's just so brilliant.
Do you know what one of her very early, if not her first, big hit was?
It was the theme from Jaws: The Revenge.
You knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it really?
It was a song that she did with her band called the Stone Ponies. The song was written by Michael Nesmith of the Monkees, and the name of the song was A Different Drum.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay.
It's a great song. I've heard Michael Nesmith's version of it because, like I said, he wrote it. But I got to tell you, as they say, as Sinead O'Connor would say, nothing can compare with Linda Ronstadt's version.
The most exciting thing about this Linda Ronstadt biopic for me is it's fired me up to go back and listen to some Linda Ronstadt, because I've listened to it all. I've loved it all. And now I want to go back and listen to it all over again. So I'm looking forward to doing that. That'll be cool.
She did at least one, possibly two albums, which I believe were Spanish or Mexican folk songs.
Yeah.
She had such a gorgeous voice.
Canciones de mi Padre?
Something like that, yes. Yeah. Her rock tunes, a couple of she
could do it all, man.
Two or three of the founding members of the Eagles were part of her backup band way back when.
Yeah, she's just amazing. And Selena Gomez is a perfect choice. When they said that, I thought, of course, everybody should have guessed that. That's who it should have been. So closing out, I'm going to talk about one of the bars we went to. Again, this was the Velveteen Rabbit up in Las Vegas. And the Velveteen Rabbit specializes in unique cocktails, most of which you've probably never heard of before. The one that I got was called, and I have the complete list of it right here, Creature of the Black Lagoon, which I ordered because the Creature from the Black Lagoon is one of my favorite movie monsters, along with Godzilla, as everybody here knows.
Yep.
At the Velveteen Rabbit, the drink was called the Creature from the Black Lagoon. This is what was included in that drink. Seaweed infused rum.
Ooh.
Do you like seaweed?
Oh, yeah.
Kachaka, house matcha, coconut falernum, pandan liqueur, lime, coconut cream, and nutmeg fog. Now, a lot of people were using fog up there. These little spray bottles on top of your cocktail. It tasted like seawater. It was not my favorite drink. They put a little, it was capped with a seashell, which Julie smartly pointed out, well, creature from the Black Lagoons from the Amazon River. Why would they put a seashell on there? Well, that's a good point. It was interesting.
I've seen freshwater shells. Don't ask me why. Well, maybe a seagull,
John,
flew over the lagoon and dropped.
Okay, we're going to go with that theory. That's what we're going to go with that. Anyway, it was an interesting cocktail. They do those kind of very niche-y, eclectic kind of cocktails. Would I get it again? Probably not. But I just thought it was. I've never seen seaweed infused rum.
Interesting.
Weird. I can't stand seaweed. You don't get those little dried seaweed chips and eat them, do you?
I have in the past.
You like them?
Do I go out of my way to? No, but if someone gives me, I'll eat it because I've had it before.
They taste like a dumpster. Pretty much exactly like a dumpster.
You're not supposed to get it out of the dumpster.
No, it doesn't have to. It's apparently came from the dumpster. You know when I get spam, what is it? Spam musabi? I take the seaweed wrap off and throw it away and just eat the spam and rice. I'm just weird.
You remember the comedian John Panette?
No, of course I do.
Oh God, that man was so funny. He would call seaweed ocean salad.
Well,
and he did not like salad.
I kind of get that. That makes sense to me.
That's something else. I've been watching a lot of John Panette's old stand up. The man was a comedic genius.
Thank God for YouTube. I've been doing the same thing with Norm Macdonald, going back through and just exploring the brilliance of that man. You forgot about it. All right, folks, that's it for this week's show. Thank you as always for listening. We will be back next week. In the meantime, go check out our friends at The Grape. They have recently posted their lineup for the rest of January. It looks awesome. Some of the best cocktails in Ventura County, the longest bar in Ventura County as far as we know, but we're sticking to that. As I said, we'll see you next week. Johnny, last word?
Word.
That'll do. Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.